Hi, and welcome to another episode of Mondays with Mardos. I'm Gerard, and this week we're going to talk about Cigar Shapes 101. But before I get going, I need you to click on that subscribe button, click on the bell to be notified every single week of new episodes on Mondays with Mardos. Alright, so when it comes to cigar shapes, fundamentally and most commonly used is a basic round shaped cigar, as you see right here in my hand. Now, another common cigar is a box press. There are all kinds of crazy other cigar shapes I have seen, but the most commonly used are what I have right here on the table. But more than anything, I'm interested in talking to you guys about cigar sizes today. As you can see right here, size does matter and it will affect the flavor of the cigar. So this is a JFR Lunatic 8x80. This is the same exact cigar with the same blend. This is 4 3/4 by 70. And a lot of people usually ask me, Gerard, will a size of a cigar really make a difference in the flavor if it's the same blend? Usually they think it doesn't. Logically, by just looking at these two cigars with the same blend, it's going to make a big difference in the flavor. And I'll get into it a little bit more specifically. Now here we have two cigars that are very close in size when it comes to the ring gauge and in the length. They're both 6 inches. However, one has a regular cap and the other one has a tapered cap. The ring gauge on this one is 52 ring gauge and this one is a 56 ring gauge. The difference is a value of 4. Now, is that going to make a difference in the flavor and it will be as drastic as the differentiation between these two? You bet, and I'll tell you exactly why. Alright, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use this very large cigar here, 8 inch by 80. So there are 3 parts of a cigar. You have the filler, the binder is what binds the filler together. You place it in a press, and then once you have the shape, you bring it out, and then you finish it with a beautiful wrapper. 40% of the flavor of a cigar comes from the wrapper. But when you have filler ratio that is so great that can overpower the flavor of the wrapper, it's going to make a big difference in the flavor of the cigar. So when the size is like this and like this, the differentiation is going to be very, very big. So let's come to a more traditional size difference. This is a 6 and 6 inch right here, but this is 54 ring gauge and this is a 52 ring gauge. The difference between these two is a value of 4. How could it possibly be any different in flavor? Well, as small as 1 leaf in a cigar, either added or removed, can change the flavor of a cigar entirely, let alone a value of 4 here. So this Herbert Spencer, Bellicoso 6x52 compared to the Herbert Spencer Toro 6x54 in flavor does have a very big difference. Now when you go down to a Corona, which is going to be much smaller ring gauge, it's like a 6x46, a Robusto 5x50, a Gordo 6x60, and so on. The sizes of a cigar is going to have very, very big difference in flavor. It being, again, because you always have to consider the ratio of filler to wrapper. So the smaller ring gauge cigar, you're going to taste more of the wrapper because the ratio is going to be greater than the filler, like in a Lancero. Lanceros have become very popular these days because today's consumers are very educated, knowing that the wrapper is the most expensive part of a cigar because of the quality of it, making sure that it looks really good. So therefore it brings the price very high. Now the farmers want to make sure they give you very, very good product, and therefore we want to taste more of the wrapper because that is the epitome or epitome of a cigar when it comes to flavors, because I already mentioned it makes up 40% of the flavor. So let me hear in the comments what you found today in this video, what you learned from it, and what you can add to it. Other than that, I will see you guys next week. Remember to follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and remember to tell your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you guys.